She is exactly how I would imagine my elder daughter to be if she were thrown into the deep end. So she's both naive, but also, you know, honest. But there's also a certain kind of, you know, teenage rebelliousness about her. So I thought that would make a very interesting lead character that could introduce the world that she's in. And of course, the world she's in is half Japanese, half English. It manifests itself in the way that the kids, sometimes they get annoyed having to speak English with their dad at home, and they think it's kind of weird. Well, why am I speaking this weird language? Nobody else does. Well, why don't you know about everything that goes on in Japan, Dad? So they kind of treat me a bit like a disabled person. My daughter loves K-pop, Korean pop music. I said, well, why don't you like J-pop? She said, well, these Koreans, they can speak Korean, Japanese and English. They're kind of like me. And I think that's kind of cool. And she said, I want to be like some pop singer in Korea. So she's got the idea about internationalism, and she doesn't like AKB48. That's my daughter, and strangely enough, Hana Walker too. She doesn't like the straight J-pop. I saw the place 2 months after, and even 2 months after, it was like a war zone. It was sort of reminiscent of pictures I've seen of Hiroshima. You know, you have a city grid with the streets, but everything else is just rubble. Or it reminded me of pictures of Normandy after, you know, 1944 and so on. So I saw that. So I didn't see the real human suffering, and so if you read Hana Walker's story, there isn't really a lot of human suffering as such, because I didn't see it and I didn't feel confident writing about it. I went up to the top of Minato Junior High School, which is mentioned in the book, and right on the roof, it was heart-rendering. I mean, this is of course 2 months after the event. There were chalk outlines on the concrete roof saying SOS, but very small. You know, it's obviously written by or drawn by a child's hand, and they were too small. They're only, you know, about 10 centimeters tall, the letters, but they said SOS and the Japanese kanji for water and food. I wanted to call it Hana Walker's half-life, not because it's about the individual. It's about her. It's about what can an individual do against the odds, and in a way, all novels are about that. You know, you throw obstacles at the heroine or hero of the story and see how they cope. And of course, you hope that they will surmount the challenges, and that's a sort of a life-affirming thing. And you know, I can't think of a bigger challenge than your whole world is literally falling apart or being shaken to the ground.